Hello?
Okay, you're on.
Okay, good. Okay, so my name is Joanne Telfer, and like Tracy said, we're here for Revive Wellness Club. And we're going to talk about the power of protein and really how that helps with weight loss. But first of all, I'm going to share a little bit about my story and how our nutrition club got started. Oops. Okay, so this is my family. We have 2 girls right now and 1 on the way, if you can tell.
You're just a little pregnant?
Yeah, about 6 months. So we have a boy inside here, so we're excited. But before we opened the nutrition club, I was a stay-at-home mom, and at that time, you know, I was pretty healthy, ate really healthy, exercised. So I thought I was, you know, ideally at my right size. I went into a nutrition club where I live in Wapaka, and I had what they offer there, which was like a little aloe shot energy tea and a meal replacement smoothie. I felt amazing. Like I was like, what is this stuff? So felt amazing for that whole day. I went back the next day because I was like, okay, tell me about this. What is in it? And really what it was the nutrition that was in it. It was the protein, the good nutrition, vitamins, minerals. So went back the next day. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so hooked already. I called my mom and my sister, who you'll get to hear from in a little bit. So my mom, we actually opened up the nutrition club 2 years ago in February. So that is, has anybody been down to Revive? Woohoo! Okay. So we're actually located downtown, right next to Goose, in between like Shopko area. And what we have out of Revive, we have the healthy meals, which I explained to you a little bit, with the aloe, the tea, and the meal replacement smoothie. We also do host weight loss challenges. And with that, we actually have those going throughout the whole year. So even if you guys are done with this one, you want to jump into another one just to keep accountable, that's awesome. We're there to help you out. We also have fit camps that we actually started recently. They're free. They're free workouts. Right now we do have Zumba and targeted body. Where actually Brock over there, he does lead one of those, so it's fun. Also, one of my favorite parts is personal health coaching, which is so rewarding to help people meet their goals. So this is our fit camp, one of our fit camps here. So it's fun. It gets a little crowded, but it's fun. Okay, so what is protein? You know, we hear a lot about protein or high protein diets and this and that, but really we're going to touch on really how protein helps you feel the best you can feel, get to the ideal weight that you want to get at. And really it's very important for our body. It's a macronutrient that builds and repairs your tissues. It produces enzymes and hormones. And it makes it possible to carry oxygen through your entire body. So like, where do we get our protein from? The modern American diet is pretty heavy in animal proteins such as meats, your fishes, your poultry, you know, like your chicken and eggs. But a lot of times they can be higher in saturated fats and cholesterol. So there also is plant sources. We have nuts, soybeans, and whole grains, and they may be lower in fats and also include fiber. But if you are going for your the animal proteins, choose more so like the fish and the chicken, or even the leaner cuts of meat, because that'll help to keep the fat lower. Okay, so we're gonna play a game. Who's ready for a game? Yay! You can win a prize. Okay, so for this, we're actually going to guess the amount of grams of protein in certain foods. Okay. So if you know the answer you want to guess, just raise your hand, and we're going to keep track. The team over here is going to keep track, and you can win something. So, okay. So does anybody know actually here. Okay. So how many grams of protein are in like a 3-ounce chicken breast? And that's going to be the white, skinless. Yes.
9.
Nope. Higher.
12.
Higher. Yes.
16.
Higher.
Right here, John.
21.
Higher.
34.
Higher.
Let's try 40.
Lower. Yes.
30.
Lower.
28.
Very close with the 24.
25.
Yes. All right. Good job. Okay, so keep track. You get a point. Okay, what about salmon? That's going to be 4 ounces of fresh salmon. Yes. Higher.
32.
Lower.
So what has been said? I heard 32 and I didn't hear the other one.
28.
Higher.
Then 30?
30. Yes.
Yay.
Good job. Okay, lobster. This is broiled, 4 ounces of lobster, how many grams of protein?
Dipped in butter or not?
Not dipped in butter.
24.
Lower.
32.
Lower.
20?
Higher.
18.
Higher.
22.
Higher.
23.
23. There you go. Good job. Okay, so the next one, has anybody cooked with tofu?
Who eats that stuff?
So for those of you who do eat that stuff, tofu, half of a cup of tofu.
0.
0?
But I
Higher.
don't eat it.
No? Lower.
12.
Higher.
16.
Higher.
28.
Lower. Was that 28?
I said 28.
Okay, so lower.
24.
Lower.
2?
21.
Higher.
20.
Close.
23.
20. Good job. Okay, so the next one, this is kind of a trick question. These are protein bar, so all of them have different kind of grams, but I guess the one that I took from is the one that we typically
How many?
carry. So if anybody wants to shout out, higher,
13.
lower,
This one right here.
lower,
9.
11.
a lower,
Protein bar,
10.
15.
10.
Said 10.
Okay. So we have a couple more. Now these, okay, this we're kind of getting into the dairy part of it. So this is cheddar cheese and 2 ounces of cheddar cheese, which is like equivalent to about 2 fingers, about how many grams of protein?
6.
14. Good job. Okay, this one, cottage cheese, half a cup of cottage cheese. And it doesn't matter if it's the full fat or the non-fat, it's the same.
12.
Higher. Higher.
If you put fruit cocktail on it, it'll taste
21.
Higher.
24.
It's higher.
26.
Higher. Yeah.
28.
28. Yes. That one's kind of surprising. So cottage cheese for only half a cup. So if you have a full cup, I mean, you double that amount. So and you can add fruit to it as well.
Fruit cocktail makes it delicious.
Yep, yep. Okay, the next one. Okay, we're gonna do egg, hard-boiled, 1 large hard-boiled egg.
9.
Lower.
6.
6.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, this is one of my favorites. Steak, tenderloin steak, love it. 3 ounces, how many grams of protein?
14.
Higher.
21.
Higher. Yep.
26.
Lower.
24.
Yep, right on. Okay, so this one, we're gonna get into some grains here. The bread, whole grain bread. This is 1 slice of bread. Lower.
7.
Lower.
5.
Yep, 5. Mm-hmm. Okay, now this one, cooked beans for half a cup of cooked beans.
15.
Lower.
12.
Lower.
9.
Lower. Yep.
6.
Higher.
8.
Who said 7? Okay, good. So now oatmeal. And I believe this is half a cup of oatmeal. I didn't put that on there. But oatmeal.
16.
Lower.
9.
Lower.
6.
6. Yep. And then last one, half a cup of whole grain pasta.
13.
Lower.
11.
Lower.
8.
Lower. Yep.
5.
Lower.
Oh.
I know. 3. And like with some of these, they may vary, so check your labels when you're cooking. But with this is kind of standard what I pulled up. So it may vary like exactly the grains that they're used in that steel cut oats or however things are. But that's what I found. So who got 5 right? 2 right. Okay, 3. 3, 4. Anybody get 4?
4.
All right, so there's one here, one
So
there.
American.
I think Amanda, and then that gentleman right there. Okay, so these are the protein bars. We do have chocolate peanut. I think we're handing out citrus lemon and vanilla almond. So good job, guys. So you may be wondering, how many grams does my body need of protein in a day? So it kind of depends. Men and women are a lot different. It depends if you're physically active. It depends, exactly the weight that you're at, the BMI, your body composition. But here, for example, this guy here, he's working out a lot. He's pretty physically active. 200 pounds, he needs between 100 to 200 grams of protein a day. Okay. Female, and this is extremely small, very small female. 100-pound physically active female needs between 50 to 100 grams of protein a day. Like I said, it varies. And one thing too that kind of know your numbers of what you need in a day, and then you can kind of track it and figure out. But we'll kind of talk to the others. We'll talk a little bit about how to get your numbers right. So when we do that at Revive, we actually have a little machine that can tell you exactly what you need for your day. So because everybody's different. Okay, this is just a fun fact. The human body cannot survive if your protein stores drop below 50%. Also, protein helps provide energy. My sister's going to talk a little bit about how her energy levels went up with adding in more protein. But it also satisfies hunger. Protein helps satisfy hunger by avoiding the sugar highs and lows. So has anybody ever had like an apple or maybe some noodles and felt hungry like 10 minutes later? Yeah. And why is that? Does anybody know?
Apple's supposed to last you a day.
Apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? Right. So what happens is, I don't know if you can see this, but with the spikes, this is your energy levels with your blood sugars. So with that one right here, what happens when you have like refined sugars or simple carbs, it spikes up and then it comes down. So that maybe lasts 10 minutes, okay? And that would be like your rice and your pasta, like juices, fruit juices, white potatoes. The next one we're going to look at right here, that's your complex carbs. That would be like your fruits and your veggies, whole grain pastas, like your oatmeal and brown rice. That's going to last you a little bit longer, 2 to 3 hours, depending on the person. The next one is your lean, whoops, sorry, I did this one, sorry. 30 to 50 minutes right here, 30 to 60. The next one is your lean protein, and that's going to be like your chicken, your fish, your egg whites, soy products, 2 to 3 hours right here. So it lasts a lot longer than the 10-minute one. Then if you add in lean protein plus your complex carbohydrates, that's going to last you 3+ hours right here. So if you add in your complex carbs and your protein, that's the one that's going to really sustain you a lot longer. So even if you're thinking your snack, like if you do have an apple, maybe add some peanut butter to it. It's going to hold you over a lot longer. Okay, so who wants to raise their metabolism? Right? Everybody. Okay, so actually what helps with that is getting the right amount of protein into your body. Even it actually boosts your metabolism and you can burn calories while even resting. Okay, so because of your increased muscle mass, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but I just want to touch on it. So you get to burn more calories throughout the day, and who doesn't want that? Right? Okay, so my portion is done. I'm going to come up here at the end again and kind of close it up, but I'm going to hand it over to my mom, Karen.
So there's nothing wrong with my putting peanut butter on my Eggo waffles in the morning when I eat breakfast.
Peanut butter helps. I mean, it does have protein in it, so it'll sustain you a lot longer. With peanut butter too, the best peanut butter would be the ones without the trans fats. So you kind of have to watch with that. Chunky, like chunky. Chunky's good.
Almonds are good.
Yep.
Yeah, almond nuts are good. Okay, my name is Karen. Am I too loud?
No.
No? Okay. First of all, I want to just start out with, I'm going to start out with a few jokes. That's how my pastor starts before he does his messages. So it's kind of like, I was looking them up today and I'm like, I'm going to do a few jokes too. So, okay. In a 5th grade class, a teacher asked students various science questions. This is one of them. Teacher, what is the definition of a protein? Student, a student is something that is made up of mean old acids.
What?
Mean old acids.
Amino acids.
And then some fitness and weight loss quotes. I have to exercise in the morning before my brain figures out what I'm doing. I've been on a diet for 2 weeks and all I've lost is 14 days. If it weren't for the fact that the TV and the fridge are so far apart, some of us wouldn't get any exercise at all. People say that losing weight is no walk in the park. When I heard that, I think, yep, that's the problem. All right, this is one of my favorites because I do like this kind of cheese. What do you call cheese that you don't own?
Nacho cheese.
Nacho cheese! Yeah! Okay, everybody probably knows this one too. What's the difference between pea soup and roast beef? Anybody know?
Pea soup and roast beef,
Yeah.
one's a cow and the other's a vegetable.
Anyone can roast beef. Okay. Okay, here's our little clicker. Yeah, you do the clicker.
You
Okay.
can't beat soup. Why they go into a big. I'm getting to be an antique, it just takes a while to sink in.
Yeah, some of you get it maybe in a couple days, right?
Well, I heard one today, why does the chicken jump up and down?
Why does he do that?
He wanted scrambled eggs.
Oh, gee. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're gonna roll on into, can meeting your needs of protein cut cravings, keep you full and satisfied? As I was researching on that, I was researching cravings and I ran across so many different things about cravings. So that's what I'm gonna touch on for a moment. Throughout the month, we have different cravings. Some of them might be sugar. We dig into that candy bowl, you know, throughout the day, maybe at our desk. Or salt, going after those chips. Cheese, bread, caffeine. Some of us maybe start our mornings out with a cup of coffee and maybe throughout the day having a soda or two. Some maybe hot and spicy. You know, those are those cravings. Whatever it might be, it is very important that one understands the signals given by your body. Food cravings are just a way of letting you know that your body needs some essential vitamins and minerals. Proteins are made up of small building blocks called amino acids. Of the 20 different amino acids that make up the proteins in your foods, in the body, 8 of them are called essential, which means that you need to get them in your diet because your body can't make them. If a food contains all of the 8 essential amino acids, it's considered a complete protein. If any of you are wondering what are those 8 essential amino acids, I looked them up, but I thought there's some of them I can't pronounce. So I just want to encourage you, if you want to know those kinds of things, Google those because it is really important. It's amazing the different kinds of things our body needs in those amino acids and throughout your day. So just go ahead and Google those, and you'll probably get more out of that than me explaining it to you. So next thing I want to go over is how protein affects your weight, and as you can see there, it affects it big time.
They don't got cheese on the right hand guy.
If you look real hard.
I eat about up to a half a pound of cheese a night sometimes. A quarter pound usually a night.
I guess, well, that's why we live in Wisconsin.
Well, me and Rudolph get along great.
There you go. But high protein foods help manage hunger. So another thing is when protein is absorbed, it sends a signal to your brain to decrease your hunger. Another benefit of protein is that it raises your resting metabolism by maintaining muscle mass. As we age, muscle mass decreases without exercise, so staying fit is a key to burning fat by keeping your metabolism high. You know, different ways that we can do that, you know, like if we're sitting in our easy chair in the evening, grab a dumbbell, you know, 3 to 5 pounds or something, you know, and kind of lift, you know, do a little bit of active things, you know, as you're sitting. You're still relaxing, but, you know, you want to, you know, keep your muscles going. Another thing is maybe, you know, some of the women, as you're doing dishes, you know, do some of those, you know, move your legs, you know, as you're standing there, or maybe do some Kegels or, you know, some squats as you're doing them, you know, so just to stay, there you go. Oh, yeah. Protein also leads to a much less rapid rise and fall of blood sugar and insulin. So avoid the sugar highs and lows after eating sweets without adequate protein. And I just want to tell you too, my story about before I started my program, that's what I was putting in my diet a lot, you know, with sugars, and, you know, I'd have those highs and lows and get the headaches and wondering, why am I getting those headaches? And I wasn't putting the protein in my diet. And when I figured out what I needed, this here chart is what we use at the club. We find out how much protein we need in our diet. And when I did that was 2 years ago when we opened our business. Before that, I was on a yo-yo diet. You know, I was like, I tried to, you know, get my weight down, and it wasn't happening. I was like so frustrated. I'd go to the doctor and he'd tell me, he's like, Erin, you know, you're gaining a couple pounds every time I see you. And I just, you know, it was just engraved in my head, and it was like, what am I gonna do? You know, I'd be on a diet pill, you know, and my husband would tell me, you know, that's not good for you. So I'd stick it up in the medicine cabinet, and, you know, I'm like, okay, so now what do I do? And so then when we got started in the business, I got on a program, and I was doing the, getting more protein in my diet. And within 4 months, I dropped 4 pant sizes. And since then, I dropped 1 more size and lost a total of 27 pounds. And, you know, so it's just by that, getting your body fat, getting enough protein in your diet, your lean muscle goes up, and, you know, a little bit of exercise in there, and that's what's gonna happen, you know, so. Inches. I wasn't for sure how many inches I have lost, but when you get the proper nutrition, your inches, you're gonna find. Some people, maybe they step on a scale and it's not going down as fast as they want it to go, but take a measure, you know, maybe it's the inches that are coming down fast, you know, rather than the pounds. So, like losing weight the wrong way, that was my yo-yo dieting that I was doing. Cutting calories while cutting nutrition. Another thing is it slows down your metabolism, and it cuts into your muscle when we don't get the proper nutrition. So that's all I have to share with you today. Oh yeah.
Hi, my name is Sherry, and I'm a part of this family as well. So we were raised, and here's my family. We were raised to eat. Our family valued nutrition all through growing up. So we were very healthy growing up, and we stayed active. But when I was a senior in high school, I started eating a lot, and that progressed into me becoming a closet binge eater. And I became very depressed, and because I had tried so many times to control what I was eating, I had given up hope that that would ever change. And finally I had enough, and I decided to learn how to control what I was eating. In the process, I became bulimic, and over the course of 3 years and a series of events and lots of prayer, I actually learned how to control my eating. I have kept off that extra weight that I gained now for 13 years, and I have not binged or purged in 10 years. And so if any of you are in that same predicament and wondering if you will ever be able to change, yes, you can. If I can do it, you can do it. And so then 2 years ago, my family started a nutrition club. And prior to that point, I was actually shopping around at the local health food stores looking for things that would give me the results that I needed. I had very, very low energy, and I had some digestive issues, and I just had my third child, and I was becoming very easily irritated. And so I had started on my nutrition program at Revive, and the first thing I noticed was amazing energy. And Joanne had actually brought it up earlier that I was going to talk about the energy that I gained. And so I was not only getting on the floor and playing with my kids, but I was running around outside, and I was doing things that I really hadn't done since I was a kid. And I was staying up, I stay up later, 2 hours later than normal with all that extra energy. And so my energy level was amazing. And Joanne always likes to emphasize that it did not have anything to do with caffeine, because I really don't drink caffeine. It really was all of the great nutrition that I was giving my body that it needed. And my digestive issues were gone immediately, and I'm no longer easily irritated. Right, guys? And we're learning a lot about protein. So,
You're going back.
there you go. Hey. Hey. There you go. Okay, so we're learning a lot about protein, and that's really good. You know, what are the different sources of protein and how do they affect our body? We're learning how it boosts our metabolism. We're learning how it keeps us full, gives us that energy that we need. And so how does that protein absorb into our body? Well, we need amino acids to absorb all that protein. And so we have all these different sources. We have eggs, meats, dairy. All of these are the animal sources of protein. And then we have our plant-based sources of protein. Soy, peas, rice, beans, nuts, they have protein in them. And guess which source of protein actually has a more complete set of amino acids that actually helps our body to absorb that protein. Guess if it's either the animal or the plant.
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 Let's find out. Okay, so here's the amino acids. They kind of look like that, I guess. So that's cool. And
That's what I used to look like back in 1960.
that's my brother Kyle. Don't ask him to flex because he might rip his shirt. And anyways, so those amino acids just help break all this protein down so that you can look like that, right? Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so this screen, what does it say? Animal protein has the right amount of amino acids to break down the protein. And so why is that? Because animals are kind of made up more like we are than plants. And so the protein that is in meat sources, and actually eggs have the perfect protein, that's going to help our body actually to do everything that that protein wants to do. It's going to, which primarily we want muscle, right? We want to grow that lean part of our body, which muscle is a part of that lean part of our body, so that it can go and burn the fat, right?
There's a question for you. Is dip the eggs better than scrambled eggs or fried eggs?
Well, I guess it depends on how you make either one of them. Because if you put a bunch of butter in either one, then...
Well, I like to dip the eggs, or you dip a toast in it.
Oh, dip the eggs, yeah. Yeah, they're both good for you. You want to actually have the egg white and the yolk. You want to eat them together because then you get the benefit of all, and it actually doesn't really increase cholesterol like we think. Question?
Is it true that you're only supposed to have 1 egg yolk a week?
No, actually, yeah, it's kind of a myth with egg yolks raising your cholesterol. There's actually vitamins in the yolk, primarily the egg white. That's primarily where all the protein is. but it's only protein. And so the yolk has some of the vitamins in it that you need, and some of the amino acids that break down that protein. So you want to have the whole egg, and you can have them every day.
2 weeks from now, we'll have a dozen apiece.
All right.
Either.
Easter, yes. Okay, plant proteins, they don't have all of the proper amino acids to break down, with the exception of soy. Soy does have all of those good amino acids that we need to break down the protein. And you can actually mix some of plant sources together that actually give you that complete amino acid. For instance, rice and pea protein, if you mix them together, then you have that complete amino acid. And you might find that in like protein drinks. If you have a certain type of protein drink, you might see on the back that it has rice and pea in it. So that's why they do that. And actually, whey protein absorbs into your body the easiest out of all sources of protein. So even though eggs are the perfect protein, whey is going to get that job done more efficiently. And that is why a lot of times when people go to work out, they take their whey protein with them and they get that in their body like 20 minutes after they work out, because that whey goes straight to your muscles and it builds all those lean muscles like you want them to. And so that you can look like that.
So is that the only time you should drink it, is after a workout?
No, whey protein is good for you, just like any other kind of protein with your meals, but it's very efficient, yeah, after you work out.
It's not going to keep you as full.
That's one of the reasons why we come to these meetings, because we don't want to weigh too much.
That's right. That's right.
Some of you will get that tomorrow.
Hi everyone, I'm Kyle. I'm going to tell you my story first. Growing up, I was always interested in nutrition and exercise, but at the age of 19, it all changed. I became a semi-trailer mechanic, which is a physically demanding job. I worked long hours and didn't have time to think about proper nutrition. I worked long hours and didn't have any time throughout my day. I worked usually 8 to 12 hours, and that's when I fell into a fast food diet. My diet included Taco Bell, Hardee's, Arby's, and other fast food places. I gained 30 pounds and was a size 36. Because I gained weight, my energy level went from a 10 to a 5. I was sick of having to wear baggy clothes all the time and not having the energy to spend time with my family and friends. I decided to take action and change my diet. Since breakfast is the most important meal of the day, I switched from cereal to a high-protein breakfast. I switched to high protein because I noticed carbs usually are empty calories and only keep you full for several hours. With protein, I noticed that I was full till lunchtime, I had more energy, and as a result of getting proper nutrition, I lost 42 pounds. My body fat decreased 17%, and my muscle increased 14%. Now I feel amazing every day. Okay, we're going to go on to answer this question: how protein increases muscle mass and decreases your body fat. We'll talk about several important healthy protein sources. You got beans, peas, and just all of these are really healthy sources. They're really good, low, not any cholesterol in them, or really low. Nuts and seeds are low in fat. The only high fat nut is usually cashews. Almonds are really good for you. Fish is a really low fat source of protein. It's one of the best ones for you. Lean poultry is also great. Lean meats, it's also really good. You get lean cuts with that. Those are really good for you, high in protein. Eggs, like Sherry said, are really good for you because they have the entire amount of amino acids to break down the protein. This is me before I got started my high protein diet.
Show them now.
And of course, now I have lost 42 pounds, so I do look quite a bit different. Picture your muscles as a city. When you get exercise in any amount, your muscles are breaking down. Proteins are building blocks for your body. Use this to rebuild your muscles. If you don't get enough protein, your body muscle will decrease, resulting in a lower metabolism, which will increase your body fat. When your body get the proper amount of protein from healthy sources, your body will rebuild your muscles stronger by having more muscle. This increases your metabolism. A faster metabolism means a healthier you, by giving you more energy and decreasing your body fat percentage. Studies have been done on fat stores in your body, and your body fat stored around your stomach is directly correlated in cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's disease, as well as other metabolic and vascular diseases. Visceral fat, which is around your stomach, around your organs, also known as organ fat, is located inside the stomach, packed between the internal organs and torso. Even though this fat is unseen, it is very important to keep your visceral fat low. Central obesity is associated with a statistically higher risk of heart disease, hypertension, insulin resistance, and diabetes type 2. It is now generally believed that visceral fat is the depot that conveys the biggest health risk. This is why protein is so important. It will help you decrease your fat stores throughout your body. Your body will feel amazing, and you will be able to exercise without getting sore. Plus, one of the great side effects is that you will have amazing energy all day. Whey protein rebuilds your muscles the fastest and strongest. Casein proteins sustain your muscles for a longer amount of time. For people who exercise on a medium to intense scale, getting protein in your body 30 minutes after working out is essential for building your muscle properly. If you don't, your efforts will have minimal results, your body will be sore, gaining muscle and losing fat will be a slow process, or even with some people, you won't even lose any fat. For me, all I did was get the proper amount of protein every day. Even without exercising, I got amazing results. And foods that cut stomach fat, like wild salmon is part of the fish group, and that is also really good for cutting the stomach fat, since we talked about visceral fats and how important it is to cut that. Low-fat nuts like almonds, berries are really good for you. Fresh eggs, pasture eggs, are actually the best because they actually have less cholesterol and a higher amount of protein.
All right, can you guys hear me good? Good? All right. Everybody still with me here? I know this is kind of going on a little long. All right, what I'm going to have you guys do is everybody stand up quick. All right, now what I want you guys to do is arms straight up in the air, reach really tall, nice and tall, arms out to the side, back straight up in the air. All right, now two of your neighbors, give them a high five.
High five.
Here you go.
High five.
All right, you guys can go ahead and sit down then. Get the blood flowing a little bit. And I'm going to hop right ahead here kind of to my story. I've tried different nutrition plans in the past. I've tried everything from whey protein to counting calories to cutting carbs to eating 6 eggs in the morning or right before bed at night. Just everything I possibly could to help build muscle mass, lose a little bit of weight. I finally went into Revive, kind of got on a nutrition plan with them. I'm kind of one of those skeptics. I've tried so many things that I'm kind of skeptical about what everything has. Did a little research behind it and thought, you know, maybe they have something here. Went on a nutrition plan, and in the first month, I actually lost, I thought it was in good shape to start with. I actually lost 8 inches around my abs and waist and gained 2.5 inches around my chest and my arms, and that was just going to class.
You turned off your microphone.
Can you guys hear me now? No.
Battery might have died.
You guys hear me now? Right. Let's go without it. All right. I'll kind of jump back into the middle of my story. Started with a nutrition plan at Revive Wellness, and kind of a skeptic beforehand, wasn't really sure about nutrition plans. I've tried a bunch of them in the past, and in the first month, I thought I was fit and in good shape beforehand. In the first month, I lost 8 inches around my abs and my waist, and gained 2.5 inches around my chest and my arms, just by starting the nutrition plan and going to class. I wasn't working out, on the side at all. I wasn't doing intensive anything on the side. I didn't have time for it between class and work and everything. And I mean, the results that I saw were awesome. Actually, in the first 2 weeks, I gained 2.5 pounds of muscle and lost 0.5% body fat. So I mean, I would encourage you guys to get on a nutrition plan and definitely take what this presentation has to heart, because it really does work. All right, we're going to kind of talk a little bit about protein and how it can help you lose weight. Healthy weight and what healthy weight loss is. Healthy weight loss, most people think you need to exercise. 80% of healthy weight loss is actually based off of nutrition, and 20% is based off of exercise. So if you get the proper nutrition that your body needs and supplement it with some exercise as well, that's when you're going to start seeing those results in that weight loss. Also, healthy weight loss is burning more calories than you consume. We're not talking about burning a very, very large amount of calories and starving your body. Starving your body is bad because you're going to lose that initial weight, but then your body's going to want to build back what it had lost from being starved and malnutrition, and you're going to end up gaining that weight back in the long term. Another big thing is to stay hydrated. Water transports nutrients throughout your body. Water helps your muscles and helps everything function. So if you stay hydrated, that's also one of the best keys to healthy weight loss. The rule of thumb is 50% of your body weight should be consumed in ounces of water a day. If you weigh 180 pounds, that means that you should consume 90 ounces of water a day for your body to stay healthy. The 6 to 8 glasses everybody says is based on
So then we'd be trying to go to the bathroom and pee soup.
Exactly. So that's just a little bit about healthy weight loss, and now kind of how protein can help you with weight loss. Your body actually needs 13 different proteins, of which your body can produce 9 of those 13 proteins. So based on what you consume in a day, you need to take in those other 4 proteins. Proteins do everything from create muscle mass, repair tissues, help you resist diseases, help reduce fatigue, regulate body processes by helping transport nutrients. Your hemoglobin is actually created from protein, and your hemoglobin helps transport oxygen through your body. So protein's needed for your everyday body functions that we don't even think about. Your heart needs protein. All your organs need protein. Your muscles need protein. Kind of like everybody else was talking beforehand, the more muscle mass you have, the higher your metabolism is going to be. So if you get that protein in your diet, you're going to gain that muscle mass, your body's going to start burning off that fat, and you're going to experience weight loss. Now, some of you might be asking, why protein? Why not these carb diets? Why not counting calories and all this other stuff? Carbohydrates and fats, you need to consume more to feel full. You also intake more energy and calories to feel full. Kind of like they were talking before, you experience those high lows in blood sugar level from carbs and fats because your body processes the carbs and the fats immediately. And that's why people say the crash that you get when you consume sugars, a carbohydrate is just a complex sugar, and your body will actually use it right away, and you'll experience that crash from the high, low, and sugar levels. What a protein does is you actually feel fuller from intaking less, and it'll reduce your energy intake because the protein takes a longer amount of time to break down in your body. So you'll feel fuller for that longer period of time because you're not getting that fluctuation in the sugar levels in your body. Also, carbohydrates and fat, or excess is stored as fat in your body, where protein's actually not stored or stored at a very minimal level. Protein also helps burn more calories because it takes a longer period of time for protein to break down in your body. It actually has a higher caloric demand, and you'll burn more calories from eating protein just by consuming the protein in your body needing to break it down. Now, some of this I kind of went over, but I'll kind of explain it again because these are really key points to kind of how protein works in your body. The proper nutrition is a 10-to-1 ratio from carbs to protein. So for every 10 grams of carbs you consume, you should consume 1 gram of protein for a meal. When people talk about the empty carbs are carbohydrates that you're not getting that protein, or you're not getting that proper 10-to-1 carb to protein ratio. Protein also, like I said, has a higher metabolic tax, so it takes more energy for your body to break it down than it does the carbohydrates and the fats. So you're burning those calories and staying fuller longer just by consuming more protein. Proteins usually are associated with a lower caloric content than carbohydrates and fats. That means that you're going to get lower calories with a higher amount of protein, and some of these fishes and meats and everything that everybody else was discussing than you would in eating a candy bar, for example. Proteins are not stored in the body, you're stored in a minimal amount, so you don't have to worry about your body intaking protein and storing it as fat. Carbohydrates and fat are what's stored as fat, and sugars. Protein will actually help reduce blood fats. It reduces blood fats because it transports nutrients better. It helps break down fat and increase your metabolism, and also, usually, like I said, proteins are related with a lower caloric content, so you don't have to worry about all those blood fats being in there in the first place. You'll see the less sugar fluctuations, and you'll stay fuller longer. And also, protein replenishes the muscle building blocks, and muscle determines metabolism. Kind of means that the more lean muscle you have, your body is going to burn more of that fat that you have. Anybody have any questions at all?
Could you just state again the ratio of the water? You said the 10, if you weigh 100 pounds.
Half of your body weight. So take half of your body weight,
Okay.
and that's how much water you should consume a day in ounces. So a 200-pound individual should consume 100 ounces of water a day.
Back in the 60s, when I had a body like that, we used to use protein food, pills and stuff for protein, for weightlifting and stuff. And I never heard anybody ever use it anymore.
The biggest thing about protein pills and some protein shakes you'll see out there and protein supplements and stuff is it's not necessarily how much protein is in it, it's what kind of protein's in it, and also what kind of amino acids are related with the proteins. You could sit there and drink a whey protein shake all day to try to get as much protein as your body needs and supplement yourself with the rest of the vitamins and nutrients your body needs. But if that whey protein isn't associated with the correct amino acids, your body actually won't consume it. Your body can only consume up to 20 grams of protein at a time if it doesn't have the correct amino acids in the food itself. So you could eat 40 grams worth of whey protein, but if it doesn't have all the correct amino acids, 20 grams is just going to go right through your body, and only 20 grams is going to be consumed.
So again, why don't you tell me what would be your diet for a day, or what would be your food menu for a day? In the morning I eat this, lunchtime I eat this, other time I eat this. Tell me what anyone I don't care.
The people who lost weight?
No, just to get to make sure you get all the protein in you. What would your menu be for the day? Food intake.
Well, what we would advise would be to eat every 3 hours. So you want to eat within a half an hour of waking up. That's a really big deal because you want to get your metabolism going. You have a 4.5 times greater chance of becoming obese if you don't eat breakfast. So a half an hour from waking up, you want to eat breakfast, and like we were talking about with nutrition, getting that proper nutrition in your diet, making sure there's an amount of lean protein for breakfast, and then 3 hours later, have a protein-based snack. So have your fruits and your vegetables, but put like a protein with that, peanut butter, cottage cheese. 3 hours later, have your lunch, not like a huge lunch, and like I said, getting that proper nutrition, the proper amount of lean protein. And then 3 hours later, you want to have another protein-based snack. So it's, again, your fruits and your vegetables with a source of protein. And then you have your supper. For supper, you want to eat lean source of protein. So do you guys understand what a lean source of protein is? Maybe you can shout that out. Turkey. Chicken. Fish.
String cheese.
Yep, low-fat string cheese. Yep. Any kind of dairy that's low-fat. I think you guys pretty much covered it. Tofu, like we heard there's some tofu lovers in the room.
I won't let her buy none.
Okay. And so
I tasted it once, that was enough.
All right.
And so it's a lean source of protein. Our carbohydrates should be complex carbohydrates. So if you're gonna have pasta, have whole grain pasta. If you're gonna have rice, have brown rice. If you're gonna have sweet potato, have
it sweet.
Have sweet potato. Keep it sweet potato.
She's into almonds and I'm into pistachios.
Okay, that's good. That's a good snack. That's a good protein-based snack. And then you just want to keep your supper colorful. So when you're putting in as much color into your supper as possible, you know you're getting all those proper nutrients. So like, you know, purples, greens, orange. It's giving you all that nutrition that you need.
What did you have?